welcome back those who joined me in previous events with the library and those who are new to us tonight. We're going to be focusing on Pilates using your abs, feet, and inner thighs as an anchor. And in Pilates, we also call that the 3 anchors, or maybe the golden triangle. What we really are going for is creating an activation of those 3 areas of our body and using that as a source of strength and stability, so the rest of our body can move freely and flow through our practice. Now, we always start with fundamental exercises, the very basics of exercises, and I like to remind the audience that this isn't just basic or easy exercises that are just time fillers, but these are really skills that we learn so that we can then use them throughout the practice tonight. So really be purposeful, and we're going to be a little deliberate and slow at the beginning, but we'll pick it up after we finish kind of picking up those fundamental exercises. Now, I can't see the audience that's here tonight, so you have to protect your own body and be responsible for your own body tonight. So if your doctor has told you not to do something and I tell you to do something, listen to your doctor. And if anything causes you pain, maybe in your joints, or something feels too intense, you want to just back off a little bit, or even just observe the exercise. We'll be moving on relatively quickly. Now, in terms of general props for the people that are watching, you might want to grab like a hand towel and fold it up into a little square to put it underneath your head if you've got forward head posture. That's just going to keep your head from hanging off the back of your neck and creating pain possibly there. So it'll just create more alignment. And if you have really tight hip flexors and hamstrings and you have a hard time during the seated portion of our mat practice, you can roll up your mat if you're using a mat, or grab a pillow or something. Maybe if you have a yoga block, you can sit up on top of that. And that'll just give you more ease in those tight areas so you can really focus on connecting to the muscles of your body. So let's get started, okay? What we're gonna start doing is lying on our backs with our knees bent and our feet flat. We don't need the rolled up towel quite yet, but keep it handy. So I'm gonna place it kind of up by my head so I can grab it relatively easily. And you're gonna lie down. And the first part of our practice involves learning how to breathe correctly. That was very important to the training in Pilates. So let's start with 4-wall breathing. I want you to imagine that your ribs are really 4 walls. You've got your 2 side ribs, you've got your front ribs, and you've got the back ribs, which are connected to your space, whether it's your mat or your floor. You could place your hands on your side rib cage. And as you inhale, inhale into your side walls. So when you inhale, you should feel those walls move out. And as you exhale, you should feel your walls move in. 2 more. Breathe into your side walls and exhale your air. And 1 more. Breathing in and breathing out. Now we want to think about our front and back walls, especially your back wall, because the front wall will take care of itself. So as you inhale, I want you to feel your breath create more pressure in your back ribs toward the floor as you inhale. And exhale your air. 2 more times. As you inhale, send the breath to your back ribs. Feel it get heavy into your space, and exhale. 1 more time. Breathe in, preferably through your nose, into your back ribs, and exhale your air. Now we'll breathe into all 4 walls. So as you inhale, send your breath into your sides, back, and what's left will go to the front of your wall. Now as you exhale, can you bring all 4 walls in and keep exhaling until you can't exhale anymore? And again, breathe into all 4 walls, front, side, back. And as you exhale, keep exhaling, make it very active and not a passive exhale. Really pull the ribs in, empty out all your air. One more, breathe in. And as you exhale, feel the ribs narrow and keep exhaling until you have no more air left to leave your body. All right, that's the breathing we want to focus on. But now let's connect to our abdominals. So take your hands and place one hand on each hip bone, okay? That's just right to the sides of your pelvis. You're still at the front, but it's at the sides of the front of your pelvis. It should feel relatively hard because it's a bone. And I want you to imagine that these are peaks of a mountain, okay? So you've got two mountains, one on each side. Now slide your hands inward and find the soft tissue of your abdominals. That we're gonna call the valley of your abdominal wall. So slide your hands back to the peaks of your mountains. Breathe into your four walls. And as you exhale, can you deepen your valley and make it lower than the peaks of your mountain? Now, it might not literally be lower than the hip bones, but that's what you're going for. That's the feeling you're trying to achieve, that pulling back. And again, breathe into your four walls. And as you exhale, deepen your valley, pull it down, down, down. And one more, breathe in. All four walls expand. And as you exhale, feel the low belly deepen down, trying to create depth in the valley, getting lower than the peaks. All right, now that we've connected to your abdominals, let's connect to your feet, right? So your knees are bent, your feet are flat, and you're gonna start by straightening your right leg. Now flex your right foot, and you're gonna press your right heel down into your space, but before you move your heel, tighten your right side of your seat and use that connection to drag your heel back. Relax your foot. 2 more times, straighten your leg, it goes out relaxed, then you flex it, you press and you find your glute on your right side and you drag your heel back from that connection. Relax your foot. 1 more time, straighten, flex, press, and drag. All right, now let's go to the left side. You'll just straighten your left leg, flex your left foot. Now pause here and press your left heel and very intentionally tighten your left glute. Now drag your left heel back with your glute and relax your foot. And again, straighten, flex, press, pull your heel back with your feet and relax. 1 more time, straighten, flex, press, and drag. All right, now we're going to connect to our inner thighs. So we did our abs, our seat. Let's connect to the inner thighs. Move your arms out just a little bit away from your rib cage. Press your inner thighs together and just let your legs fall to the right. Now press your inner thighs together and bring your legs back center as if it's one leg. And we'll go to the same side 2 more times. The legs go to the side. Press your legs together and turn them into one leg as you bring your legs back center. And 1 more time, the legs fall to the side. You squeeze your legs together and they come back as one piece. Now let's go to the left. Take your legs to the left. Now when you take your legs to the left, make sure your knees stay even. Press your legs together, turn them into one leg and bring them back. And again, legs go to the side, falling to the left with control. Squeeze and bring them back. And here's your last one. Legs go to the side. Squeeze your inner thighs together and bring your legs back to center. All right, now that we've activated all 3 muscle groups, let's bring your prop, your towel, in between your inner thighs, okay? Now with your legs, your towel between your inner thighs, let's just find all 3 of our muscle groups. Deepen your valley, Without tucking your seat off the mat, squeeze your seat together and squeeze your inner thighs. Now I want you to find the deepest activation of those three all at the same time that you can, and then completely relax it. And again, squeeze your inner thighs, feel your seat get tight, feel your valley deepen, and do it as tight or as strong as you can, and relax, let it all go. Now on this last one, I want you to find that halfway point of squeezing and tightening. So you squeeze your inner thighs, tighten your seat, find your low abdominals, and now bring your knees into your chest. You can also keep your feet on the floor if that's what suits your body today. But you're going to bring your knees into your chest, and you're going to find that activation that isn't 100% effort. It's about 50 to 60% effort, okay? So you're connected to those three anchors, and you're going to start to pump your arms, and we're going to go right into the 100. So let's do our breathing into our four walls. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. You're keeping a constant squeeze into your three anchors at 50%. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can keep your head down, or you can curl your head, neck, and shoulders off your mat and breathe and pump. Inhaling, four walls. Exhale, your belly is deep, your inner thighs are tight. You can straighten your legs, and you can even lower them down just a little bit. Again, these are options for those of you that can still control your three anchors. Keep breathing and pumping, and exhale. Let's do 3 more, warming up the body, and exhale. Last 2, and exhale. Here's your last one. And exhale all your air. Bend your knees, rest your head, lower your feet if they were off the floor. All right, so now we're going to introduce Clockwork, which is another fundamental we'll be using through class. So I want you to imagine you've got a clock lying down on your pelvis. 12 o'clock is at your belly button. 6 o'clock is at your pubic bone. Now you're going to tilt your clock towards 12. So what I want you to do is deepen your valley, squeeze your towel, and tilt your clock towards 12. And now find neutral so that you're not tucked or arched through your pelvis. And again, find the depth of your valley, squeeze your towel, and then roll your pelvis towards 12 and neutral. One more time, just like that. Deepen your valley, squeeze your towel, use your 3 anchors to roll your pelvis, and find neutral. All right, let's use that for our rollbacks. So sit yourself up. You can roll to your side, or you can just sit up. Your feet are flat, your knees are bent. You're gonna sit up nice and tall. Now you're gonna squeeze your towel 50%, deepen your valley, scoop back through your center, and then you're gonna tilt your pelvis to 12 o'clock. Now you can keep going as long as you can keep your feet on the floor. You can even release your hand, and then deepen your valley and squeeze your towel and come forward. And again, pull your center back, deepen that valley. Use the tilt of your pelvis to roll yourself back, and scoop your center and roll yourself forward as you squeeze your towel. Now you can stay here. We're going to do 3 more, but I'm going to go into the full roll up, which means you go all the way down. Your legs will straighten. You'll reach your arms back. You'll lift your arms up. You'll squeeze into your 3 anchors and roll yourself forward and stretch. And roll yourself back using the tilt of your pelvis, continually working into your abs, your seat, and your inner thighs. 2 more. And if this is too much for you, you can just stay in your roll back from your seated position. And roll back. And here's the last one. Roll up, scoop back, keep your 3 anchors strong and stretch. Roll yourself back down into the mat. Finish by stretching back and lowering your arms down. All right, we'll do single leg circles. So you're going to take your rolled up towel, place it at the bottom of your space so that your left heel can go down on the towel, okay? Now, you're going to roll back, but before you lay your head down, you're going to look down and make sure that your foot, knee, and hip are in a nice straight line, and then you can lower your head now that you know you're nice and straight. You're going to bring your right knee into your chest, but before you lift your right leg towards the ceiling, you're going to press down into your heel, into the towel, and actively tighten your left glute. Deepen your valley and feel like you're pressing your left inner thigh into your towel. Now that's your working leg. The right leg is going to straighten or it can stay bent, and it's just going to make a little oval that stays within the frame of your body and a cross around and lift. Now, circles are pretty simple with that right leg, so I'm really going to focus on my left leg. I'm going to focus on pressing down into my heel, one more circle, and lift. Let's reverse it. And the depth of my valley. Don't sacrifice anything on the left leg for the right. Keep it working and strong. One more. And lower your right foot down. Now just slide. You don't need to sit yourself up. Hopefully you can just slide the towel to your right foot. And then just pick your head up and look and make sure that your right foot, knee, and hip are in a nice straight line. As if you flipped yourself up, you could stand right on top of that right leg. Now bring your left knee in. Before you straighten the left leg, press down into your right heel and actively tighten your right glute, your right seat. Okay, lift your center and press your right inner thigh into your invisible towel, and then straighten your left leg. You can also keep it bent. And let's do our little circles here, or our oval shapes. Keeping this circle shape within the frame of the body, no wider than the shoulders. Two more. Last one. Reverse it. Don't forget about your right leg. It's not about the circling leg. It's about the support leg. Two more. Last one. And lower your foot down. All right, we're going to sit ourselves up so you can roll to the side and sit up, or you can just roll yourself up from your seated position so we can do rolling like a ball. Go ahead and take your prop and move it to the back of your space. We'll use it in a minute. Bring yourself forward to the front of your space. And before you lift your feet, I want you to press your heels together and make sure your toes are apart. Now with your pressed heels, slide your feet back, deepen your valley, and lift your feet up off of the floor. You're going to look down between your knees at the floor and try your best to activate your three anchors without any support. So here's where it gets tricky because you don't have any feedback other than your own mind trying to activate those muscles. So deepen your valley, tighten your seat, feel your inner thighs, try to press towards each other even though they don't move, and keep that as you roll back and come up, balance, and roll back and come up, balance at the top. And again, roll. Now you can also just hold the balance, this exercise, or you can move the exercise. Let's do three more. 3. Keep thinking about your three anchors. 2. And lift. Here's your last one. And balance at the top. See if you can stick your landing. Place your feet down. And just move your seat back a little bit. You're going to lie on your back. And we're going to do a few ab exercises where we really target the low abdominals. So the first one is single leg stretch. I want you to bring your right knee towards you and hold it with your left hand. Then you're going to take your right hand to your right ankle. Now you're going to lift your head, neck, and shoulders off the floor and curl forward. And you're just going to march your feet to switch. Opposite hand to knee, switch. And switch. Now you can stay here to really work the abdominals. Or your right knee is in. You can take your left leg toward the ceiling and move it down just a little bit. And let's go switch. Pull the thigh into the chest. Pull the knee into your ear. And switch. Holding onto your center. Nice tight abs, pulling deeply down, making sure that belly goes down and not up. One more on each side. Last time left, bring both knees in, rest your head. All right, time for our prop again. Grab your towel, place it in between your inner thighs. Let your arms rest by your side. Roll your shoulders back. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is find that activation again. So deepen your valley, squeeze your towel 50%, tighten your seat. Now lift your heels so they're in line with your knees and flex your feet. You're going to slide your heels forward only as far as you can keep the depth of your valley, and then use your 3 anchors to bring it back. And again, slide your heels forward. Feel your belly, booty, and inner thighs tighten to pull things back. Let's do 3 more. Reach forward. Scoop back. Last 2. Keep breathing into your 4 walls. Here's your last one. And come forward. Go ahead and place your feet down and get rid of your prop. All right, we'll put it back kind of where our head normally would be. And you're going to sit yourself up. And we're going to work in a seated position. Now, this is where you would get a rolled up towel or a pillow to sit on. If you find that you're really sitting on your back pockets because you've got so much tightness in your hamstrings or through your hips, you really want to sit up if that's the case, because we're going to use the press of the back of our legs down into the mat to get into our 3 anchors. So find a prop if you need to sit on top of. Otherwise, just sit nice and tall and find your sits bones. Now, if you don't know where your sits bones are, just slide your hands underneath your seat and you'll feel these bones pressing down into your hands. Those are your sits bones. Those are what you want to be right on top of when you're seated, okay? Now, deepen your belly. So pull back with your center. Press the backs of your legs down into the floor and perch your seat like you're sitting on hot sand. Feel your 3 anchors gather down into the lowest part of your pelvis and release. We'll do that 3 more times. So you're going to pull back through your center, press the backs of your legs, perch your seat, and gather all of that activation down into the lowest part of your pelvis and release. 2 more times. Sitting nice and tall, pulling in through your abdominals, pushing back through the backs of your legs, tighten your seat. So you've got your belly, your seat, your inner thighs are lifted, and release. And we'll do 1 more. Pull back through your abdominals, press that down through the legs, scoop back through your center and perch your seat. Feel that stability and support. Now try to hold on to that about 50%. Bring your arms in front of your shoulders and take a breath in for spine stretch. As you exhale, bring your chin to your chest, round forward, and stretch your spine forward. And as you inhale, you want to find that same posture that you had at the very beginning. And exhale your air, round forward and stretch. And inhale as you lift. Got your 4-wall breathing going. Exhale your air as you round forward. Keep exhaling, keep exhaling, keep exhaling. And inhale to stack your spine and float up like a balloon. Let's do 2 more. Exhale your air. Try to stay perched through your seat, pressing the backs of your legs down. Lift Here's your last one. Abdominals stay deep, always pulling down and back through your center. And inhale as you sit up tall, and give yourself a moment to release all of that. You can even bounce your legs to release the tension that might have developed in your legs. Now we're going to do saw, okay? Saw is very similar to spine stretch. We just add a rotation. So you're going to take your arms out to the side, pull your center in, find the perch of your seat and the press of your legs, and as you inhale, rotate to the right. And then as you round forward, exhale. Now you're trying to reach the left pinky to your right pinky toe. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale as you sit up tall. Come center and rotate. And as you round forward, exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale as you lift. Keep your valley deep as you rotate. Center is strong as you reach forward. And exhale, and exhale. Lift as you breathe in. And rotate. Round forward and stretch. Exhale, 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 and lift. Here's your last set. Rotate, round forward, and stretch. Exhale, 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 and lift. And here's your last one left. Rotate and exhale. Exhale, exhale, and lift and rest. Bring your legs together. Go ahead and give it a little shimmy shake to release any tension. All right, so now we're going to learn how to work lying on our stomachs and find our 3 anchors there. Okay, so you're going to lie down. Turn your hands into a pillow. So you're going to stack your palms on top of each other and place your forehead on your palms and just let go. Just kind of relax. Now we're going to learn how to do something called baby butt. Okay, so I want you to just relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, soften through the chest and the ribs. And as you scan down towards your pelvis, you're going to feel the weight of that big bone that's in the center of your body. I want you to lift the weight of your pelvis off the floor. And now go the opposite direction. Press the weight of your pelvis into the floor. And when you do, feel the seat tighten. And 2 more times. Lift the weight of your pelvis off the floor and press the pelvis back into the floor. Tighten your seat. Now let's add on. I want you to imagine there's an ice cube underneath your belly button, okay? Now let's start by lifting the weight of your pelvis off the floor. And when you press your pelvis into the floor, lift your belly button away from your ice cube. And let's do that again. Lift the weight of your pelvis off the floor. Press your pelvis into the floor. Lift your belly button off your ice cube. And now let's add on. So you're going to lift the weight of your pelvis. Press your pelvis. Lift your belly button off your ice cube. Now squeeze your inner thighs together if you can. And again, lift the weight of your pelvis. Press the weight of your pelvis. Lift your belly button off your ice cube. Squeeze your inner thighs. Now hold that. And on your next inhale, float your head and arms off the floor in one piece. And lower down. And again, lift and lower. One more. Lift and lower. All right, let's take that skill into our swan. Just slide your hands underneath your armpits. Roll your shoulders together on your back. Find your 3 anchors. So press your pelvis, lift your belly button off your ice cube, and squeeze your inner thighs together. Lift your eyes, nose, and chin, and find the wall in front of you. Now, this is not about how high you can lift your chest. It's about how long you can stretch forward, maintaining your 3 anchors. So as you inhale, Reach your collarbones forward. Keep thinking of your 3 anchors and don't go up any higher than your very bottom rib. Now reach even further forward, squeeze into your 3 anchors more, and lower yourself down. And again, lift your eyes, nose, and chin. Find your 3 anchors. Reach forward to go up. Keep the bottom rib connected and lengthen away even more as you come down. And here's your last one. Lift your eyes, nose, and chin. Keep your 3 anchors strong. Lift your chest forward to go up. And lower it down all the way to the mat. And let's do a little counter stretch of our low back. So push yourself back. And before you sit your heels or your seat back on your heels, do your clockwork by spinning into 12 o'clock and then connect your seat down to your heels. And now let's do a little breathing practice here. I want you to inhale, and when you do, you're going to breathe into your back body. So inhale. Now breathe in a little bit deeper. And when you exhale, pull your low abdominals in, squeeze your inner thighs, tighten your seat. And again, breathe in. Make sure the breath goes to the back. Breathe in a little more. And as you exhale, sink your center, tighten your seat, squeeze your inner thighs, exhale all your air. One more time, breathe in. In a little more. And as you exhale, pull your center in, squeeze your inner thighs, tighten your seat. All right, let's go into shoulder bridge. So you're going to lie back on your back, using your pillow if you need it. And bring your towel between your inner thighs again. Okay, towel got a little loose. Fix it. All right, so your hands are long by your side. Your heels are right underneath your knees if you can. Okay, so as close to your seat as you can get. Now the first thing you're going to do is deepen your valley, squeeze your towel, tighten your seat. So feel that activation. Now tilt your pelvis towards 12 and lift your hips to lift your spine into a nice shoulder bridge. And now as you come down, you're going to lower between your shoulder blades, through your ribs, keep your 3 anchors active, through your waist, through the top of your pelvis, all the way down to the bottom of your pelvis. And again, deepen your valley, squeeze your towel, tighten your seat, and tilt your pelvis. Lift your hips to lift your spine, breathe in. And as you lower down, roll through your spine. Each time you do this, you're trying to get more articulation through your spine as you roll all the way to your tail. 3 more times, scoop, squeeze, tighten as you tilt and lift all the way up. And as you come down, you keep your 3 anchors strong, you keep the depth of your center strong, your seat is working, and you roll through your pelvis. Last 2, scoop, squeeze, tilt and lift all the way up, standing on those feet, and roll down. Keep squeezing your towel, keep scooping your low abdominals, deepening that valley, all the way to your tailbone. Here's your last one, roll and lift all the way to your shoulder bridge. And lower yourself down, rolling through your spine, all the way to your tailbone. All right, go ahead and get rid of your towel. Place it back at the top of your space. And we're going to roll to our sides for our side kick series. All right, so if you've got a mat, you want to line your shoulders and your hips up with the back of your space, and your feet will go to the front. If you don't have a mat, just make sure your shoulders, head, and hips are in a straight line, and your feet will go to the front of your space, a couple of feet in front of your pelvis. Now roll yourself forward so that your top hand that's on the mat is taking the weight of your body. And you're on the front half of your bottom thigh, and your top hip is more forward than you think it should be. Now you're going to lift your top leg off your bottom leg, and let's see if we can find our 3 anchors here. Pull your center in, feel the seat engage 50%. And even though your inner thighs are apart, can you lift them as if they're active towards each other? And now take your leg forward and back, forward and back. Now, as you're going forward and back, you want to keep the leg the same height as it moves through space. So usually when our leg goes back, it likes to sink. So if that's the case with you, when it goes back, think lift, lift, lift. 2 more. And back. And last one. And back. Now bring your legs together for up and down. Turn your knee and your toes toward the ceiling, just of the top leg. And pull your center in. Tighten your seat. Lift your top leg up off your bottom leg. And as you bring your leg down, squeeze your inner thighs together like your towel is still there. And lift. And squeeze. And lift. And squeeze. Quick up, slow down. 1 more. And lower. Now keep the top leg hovered above your bottom leg and go forward 5 times. Don't lose the connection of your 3 anchors. And reverse it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to do your inner thigh lift. You have 2 options for this position. You can bend your top knee and let it rest on the mat. And that's for those who might be really tight through their hips. But if you have the flexibility, just lift your knee and plant your foot and then grab your ankle from behind. Okay? Now you'll slide your bottom leg back, flex your bottom foot, and pull your valley in deep. Now feel like you're pushing your inner thigh up into your towel as you lift it and lower it. Lift and lower. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1, and bring your foot down and your legs together. All right, we're going to flip to the other side. So you can just roll over. I'm going to flip over to the other side. Line yourself up with your body up against the back edge of your space. Your feet will go to the front. Okay, you've got your head resting. You're going to roll yourself so that the hand and the mat is going to take the weight of your body, and you're on the front half of your bottom thigh. Your bottom foot is flexed. Lift your top leg off your bottom leg, just hip height, so it's just a couple of inches. Now deepen your valley, tighten your seat, and feel like your inner thighs are pressing or lifting towards each other. Now take your legs forward and take it back and forward and back, forward and back. Let's do 3 more, keeping the leg the same height as you move. 2 more. Last 1. And bring your legs together. Now turn your knees toward the ceiling. Feel your valley deepen, feel your seat tighten, and lift your top leg. Now feel like you're squeezing into your towel to lower. And lift and squeeze. 3 more. And squeeze. Last 2. Last 1. Now keep your leg hovered just above your bottom leg and make your circles going forward. Keep checking in with your anchors. Are they all working together? Reverse it. And now inner thighs, okay? So you can either bend your knee and just place it on your mat, or you can lift your knee, plant your foot, and grab your ankle from behind. Slide your bottom leg back. Flex that foot and lift and lower. Make sure your abdominals are deep. You're lifting your leg up into that towel. Up and up. 2 more. Lift. Last one. And lower your leg down. All right, let's sit ourselves up and do our teaser one leg, okay? So I'm gonna have you sit with your knees bent and your feet flat. You're gonna grab your towel, place it between your inner thighs. Very similar to the rollback, but it's a little more advanced. So if this becomes too much for you, just do your rolling back, okay, posture that we did earlier. So you're gonna deepen your valley, squeeze your towel, feel a little activation in your seat so you know it's there working for you. And then hinge back just a smidge, just a little bit, so you can straighten your right leg. You can keep your hands behind your thighs to start. Now, deepen your valley even more and roll your pelvis into 12 o'clock to roll towards your waistband and scoop back and squeeze to come up. You can keep your hands where they are. You can reach your arms in front. You can also just hold this position for endurance. One more. And lift. Now bend your right knee and take a little break. Now you're going to go into the left side. So pull your center back, squeeze your towel about 50%. Feel your seat active and straighten your left leg. Hands on the backs of your thighs, roll your pelvis into that 12 o'clock position, deepen your valley, squeeze your towel and come forward. 2 more. You can also reach your arms forward. Scoop back and come up. And here's your last one, roll back and scoop back and lift and bend your knee, placing your foot down. All right, let's go into our swimming exercise. So you can lower your towel down, lying on your stomach. We've got to find our 3 anchors again, lying on our stomach. So you've got your baby butt on by pressing your pelvis. You've lifted your belly button off your ice cube, and you're trying to keep your legs close together, or at least parallel and just hip distance, which is just a couple of inches apart. Reach your arms over your head. Now keep your head down and just lift your right arm and your left leg and lower down. Lift your left arm and your right leg, lower down. Now as you're doing this very somewhat simple movement, right? We're just moving an arm and a leg. Really think about your anchors. The weight of your pelvis, the lift of your belly button, the narrowness of the legs so that the stance isn't wide, but it's narrow. And lower, lift, and lower. One more set. And last time left, and lower. Now we'll go into leg pull. You're gonna slide your hands under your armpits, curl your toes. Now, find your baby butt, the lift of your abdominals, and the tightness of your seat, and then straighten your knees. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, push yourself up into a plank. Now you can do this on your toes, or you can also do it on your knees. Now in this position, make sure your 3 anchors are still active like they were when you were on your mat. So lift your belly. Make sure your pelvis is spinning towards 12. Keep your inner thighs pressed together, and let's hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7. Make sure your head is on your shoulders. 4, 3, 2, 1, and come onto your knees. Just sit back and give yourself a little stretch. And sit yourself up. All right, we're going to come to a standing position now and finish our class with what is called 2x4. And I'm going to make a little adjustment of my camera so you guys can see. You go wide. Oh, that's as wide as it'll go. I'm going to push my springs back a little bit. tilted down. There we go. Now you can see my feet. All right. So you're going to come into a standing position. And I'd like you to bring your heels together and your toes apart so that your toes are about just 2 inches apart from each other. It's not, if you were a dancer, it's not like a first position posture, but it's just so that your feet can just be a little bit apart from each other for balance. But your heels are connected, okay? Now, you're going to lift your valley up so you've got a connection to your center, and just place your hands on your hips. Now, you're going to bend your knees, and as you do so, look down and make sure your knees go over the middle of your toes, so maybe your second and third toe, and then straighten your legs. Let's do that just one more time so you just can watch and make sure you've got the alignment of your legs as you bend your knees, and then straighten your legs. All right, so now we're going to go into the practice of 2x4. You're going to bend your knees over your second and third toes. Keep your heels together as you lift your heels up off the floor just a little bit. Now, you're going to straighten your knees, but when you do, find your 3 anchors. So scoop your center, tighten your seat, squeeze your inner thighs together, and then lower your heels. And again, bend your knees over your second and third toe. Lift your heels up just a little bit. Straighten your knees and find your 3 anchors. Scoop your center, squeeze your seat, squeeze your inner thighs, and use that to lower your heels. 2 more. Bend, lift, straighten, and lower. 1 more. Bend, lift, straighten, and lower. Now let's reverse it. So you're going to keep your 3 anchors strong. Think your abdominals, tighten your seat, inner thighs, lift your heels up. Now bend your knees over your second and third toe, lower your heels, and then as you straighten your legs here again, abdominals, seat, inner thigh connection. Keep it as you lift your heels. Bend your knees, lower your heels, pull up through your center and straighten your legs. 2 more, lift, bend, lower, and straighten. And last one, lift, bend, lower, straighten. Now, take your arms out in front of your shoulders so that they're in your peripheral vision. When you wiggle your fingers, you should be able to see them in your side vision. Slide your arms onto your back. Now, find your 3 anchors. Squeeze your inner thighs. Tighten your seat. Feel the valley of your belly deepen. And I want you to pick your heels up off the floor just a little bit, keeping the weight on your 10 toes. Now, look over your right fingertips. Keep thinking about your 3 anchors. And look center. Look over your left fingertips. And look center. Keep the strength and stability of your 3 anchors as you look up. And look center. It doesn't have to be a big movement of the head. Just look down a little bit. And center. Now, for those who want to and feel they're safe doing so, you can close your eyes and balance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open your eyes, lower your heels, lower your arms, and you are finished for tonight. Thank you for joining me. I hope you feel stronger and more stable now that you know about your 3 anchors.
Thanks so much, Vanessa. Always excellent.
Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure.
Any questions for Vanessa before we leave tonight? Questions or comments? Well, I will tell you in the meantime that we've got, oh, I had this all up ready to go. I'm sorry, everybody. October, Vanessa will be back. I'm so sorry. Computer didn't want me to stay logged in. So October 19th at 6:30, Pilates for the total body. And then November 16th at 6:30, Pilates for the back body. And then we'll take a little break around the holidays and be back. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening and hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.